What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The U.S. midterm elections have ended, but votes are still being counted in several states. While the world waits for the results, speculation is rife over how U.S. attitudes may change toward Taiwan. In Taipei, a panel of experts assembled earlier this week to discuss what may or may not change for U.S.-Taiwan relations once the midterm results are in. Bing Wang reports.
The voters have been and gone, but the ballot count continues. Days after the U.S. midterm elections, the politically polarized nation continues to await some hotly contested outcomes. In swing states such as Arizona and Nevada, the vote has come down to the wire. The final count is not expected to be tallied before the weekend and could continue into next week. In Taiwan, people are wondering what the midterm results could mean for matters closer to home. The country has maintained a common presence on the U.S. foreign policy map. This has become even more pronounced in recent years, due in part to China's increasing military aggression and its claims over Taiwan's sovereignty. The past year has also seen several high-profile political delegates from the U.S. visiting Taiwan to strengthen the two countries' ties. On Thursday, a panel of experts met in Taipei to discuss how the U.S. midterm results might affect American attitudes towards Taiwan and China. Their consensus that Washington's approach to the two nations will remain largely unchanged, regardless of the election outcome.
不过我本来就不认为说拜登政府他在对中立场上有比较 soft 一点，有比较示弱一点哦，所以我觉得是维持原来美国对中国的这样一个戒心跟态度这样。那对于台美关系的话，我觉得基本上也不会有太大的变化。
The panel did speculate that some milder changes could still happen. They said that political decision-making might be slowed if the opposition Republican Party took over the House of Representatives, the lower chamber of the U.S. legislature. They also cautioned that issues relating to China remain volatile, and if decision-making is slowed, it could disadvantage both the U.S. and Taiwan.
首先会造成这个美国的决策系统、行政部门跟立法部门会意见一定会相左嘛。那相左的话，当然这个决策速度会相对慢，对。那决策速度相对慢，因为行政立法相互制衡。
Democrats and Republicans remain heavily divided on domestic issues, such as abortion, inflation, and gun control. But one thing they appear to agree on is the U.S. maintaining close relations with Taiwan. Experts say this is unlikely to change anytime soon.
就台湾在不管安全、在战略上、在科技跟经贸上，对美国的重要性越来越高。对，所以我相信说共和党。掌握众院多数之后，他们的态度对台湾的签署自由贸易协定的态度也会越来越现实了。
The U.S. and Taiwan continue to build ties, both diplomatically and economically. The nations just concluded 2 days of trade talks under a new initiative. And with more talks scheduled, it seems regardless of the final outcome of the U.S. midterms, ties with Taiwan are secure. Ricky and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
A leading think tank in Taiwan believes the country's economic growth next year will be under 3%. The Taiwan Institute for Economic Research is predicting 2.91% GDP growth in 2023. If accurate, this would be the slowest pace of annual growth for Taiwan's economy since 2018. The head of the institute, Zhang Jianyi, says lagging exports are largely to blame for the forecast. He says Taiwan's economy will need to rely more on domestic consumption to sustain growth. One of Taiwan's major semiconductor firms saw a massive drop in sales in October. MediaTek sales landed at $1 billion last month. That's a 41% drop from September, when the company marked its second highest monthly sales ever. October's Plunge was the company's slowest grossing month since February 2021. The company says that its performance decline is due to the global economic downturn. Despite the dip, MediaTek's sales for 2022 so far are still up nearly 18% since last year. A newly released Taiwan government report has found that there's plenty of housing available in the country. According to the Interior Ministry, some 850,000 housing units in the country are currently unoccupied. That's a vacancy rate of about 9.5%, a near three-year high. Analysts say there's partly due to the prices of new buildings going up because of rising material costs and a pandemic-related labor shortage. Wages in Taiwan have risen, but prices have shot up even faster. That means for the first time in 9 years, Taiwanese workers' salaries are worth less than they were a year ago. Stush Butler has more details.
From restaurant employees to high-tech engineers, Taiwan's workers are feeling the financial pinch. For the first time in nearly a decade, the country's top statistics agency says wages have fallen after accounting for inflation. On paper, the average worker's salary rose in 2022 to about $17,000 a year. But rising prices have, in effect, pushed wages down to about 0.1% lower in value than in 2021. Officials say this has happened for several reasons.
今年有遇到就是有疫情的影响，还有一些外在的，比如说俄乌战争啊，还有一些全球的外在环境的影响所造成的。
But this year's slight drop is part of a wider trend.
Taiwan has been one of the worst performing countries in terms of improving wages in the last couple of decades.
After adjusting for inflation, real average salaries in Taiwan have barely changed in 20 years. Corporate headhunter Alan McIver says this has affected the country's ability to both attract and retain its workforce talent.
The general feeling is that the Taipei wages are okay, they're at an average level, but if you're comparing them to places like Shanghai or Singapore, Tokyo, Seoul, they're about half. Taiwanese loses a lot of its best workers because wages in Singapore and Shanghai, for example, are a lot higher. Well, there's a lot of brain drain here.
For UBI Taiwan's chair Tyler Prohaska, all that makes the news of this year's negative wage growth much less of a shock.
The fact that it's actually fallen into negative territory is not that surprising because it's effectively already been there for the last 2 decades.
The reasons for Taiwan's slow wage growth are complex and not entirely in the country's control. But experts say as long as they persist, Taiwan's top talent will look elsewhere to get a raise. Karma Xu and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has bagged 3 bronze medals at the Asian Elite Boxing Championships in Amman, Jordan. Lai Zhuwen came in third after losing to Ruslan Abdullayev of Uzbekistan in the semi-final round of the men's light welterweight category. The 26-year-old's bronze is Taiwan's first men's medal at the championships in 11 years. For the women, Huang Xiaowen and Wu Shiyi both won bronze in their respective categories. Taiwan sent 10 boxers to this year's competition, which wraps up on Sunday. Love is in the air today as two become one. According to Taiwan's Republic of China calendar, 2022 is the year 111. The ROC calendar, which uses a year, month, date format, counts forward from the founding of the Republic in 1912. This makes today 111. 11 and 11, an extremely unusual palindrome. Many couples have chosen to hold their wedding today to take advantage of this memorable date. Some couples even chose 11 a.m. for the ceremony to make the event even more special. A new breed of Swiss cheese plant developed in Taiwan is set to export to Japan. The breed was developed by Taiwan's Council of Agriculture. It was registered in October and featured in Taiwan's National Day celebrations that month. It's now on display at an international flower show in Taipei, where it joins more than 1,500 other types of flowers and plants. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of Christmas store displays in London and Paris. I'm Ethan. Take care and see you next time.